Hey guys, and welcome to LoveCast, the Boys Love podcast, where we talk about everything related to boys love. I'm your host Pixie, and with me are my co-hosts Alexa and Coco.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Yay, we're all back
Coco's
again.
back.
Yeah.
Finally. Today for tea time, we are gonna talk a little bit about again.
As always.
Yeah. This will be a little bit of old news because we're filming this like 3 weeks ahead of time. But got suspended from Twitter, which we already talked about. I'm sure we did. I think we did mention it. But he got suspended, and no one really knows why, but I'm guessing just from what he's written on Twitter before that someone might have found his like old tweets about
Report him.
Yeah, where he basically doxes people and like
Yeah. He does
because
that.
he posted screenshots from conversations with people who were illegally uploading his movies where he showed their
all their information.
Yeah. And that's illegal on Twitter. Like that's against community lines. So it would be enough to get him suspended.
Honestly, could have been like any tweet he puts out on any given day that got him suspended.
Yeah.
The amount of times he
Yeah.
calls someone a bitch.
Yeah, and even if like he might argue that it's just a joke most of the times, but even when another person gets offended by it, it's not a joke anymore,
Yeah.
right? So, like, it takes a lot to get suspended off Twitter. I mean, usually if you do something wrong, they'll just silence you for a week or something.
Yeah.
And you can post back again. But he got his full account suspended, and it's not
It was a
been
couple
taken
days
off.
too.
Yeah, and he's not gotten it back.
He had to make a new one, I think.
Yeah, he did. So obviously Twitter is like
happy with his account.
Yeah, it has to be bad enough that they won't give it back to him.
Yeah.
So he returned with a new account and with the hashtag is back.
Oh god.
He really like makes it seem like someone was trying to take him down because he was like, "I'm back, bitches!" Like no one cares.
Yeah, I'm back, haters, whatever, bitches, something. Yeah, it was a whole thing, and I went through all the replies to his new tweets on the new account, and no one was like hating on him or anything. Everyone was like, "Welcome back." And yeah, there was no hate, so I don't know where he got that from.
He always just thinks everyone's out to attack him. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
Honestly, it could have just been, like, a routine thing that a bot caught that got him suspended. Like, it maybe wasn't even a person that reported him.
Yeah.
But he's making it seem like a bajillion people banded together.
Yeah, from what I've talked to people who don't really appreciate how he acts on social media, they just say that they ignore him. Like, no one wants to take that fight, so they just ignore
because
whatever.
They've seen what happens if you like try and fight him in quotation marks or like call him out, then like he'll sick his people on you, and no one wants to deal with that.
Yeah. So they just ignore him, but he's still making a big deal out of it, which I think it's maybe you should like just relax a little bit and just try and act a little bit professional. He's on social media. He's
a director
promoting his shows. He's a director. Yes, it's even if it's his private account, it's still connected to him as a director and to his project.
And the actors on those projects too.
Because everything he does reflects on the people around him and stuff. So he needs to just sit back and chill a little. Maybe make a fan account that no one knows.
Yeah, like a private or something.
Yeah. Just don't do it on the account connected to all these actors and movies. And yeah, because even if no one is saying anything, they'll just ignore whatever he's working on. They won't watch it. They won't support it.
they'll still form opinions of him.
Yeah. Like, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar, right?
Mm.
So being nice to people is a better way to promote your stuff or ask for support than being aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a general lesson.
Mm-hmm. And one of the new news was that all the clips from Minkit from 2 Months 2 were privated. Motive Village had to private them because J9 are in China. And I'm guessing the show they're on forced them to private the clips.
Yeah,
because of censorship?
Mm.
Question mark?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, because China is really known for censoring BL, like Boys Love. So I'm guessing that's the only reason. Like, if you expect to see J9 in more BL.
Yeah, I think it's really gonna depend on how they do in these shows. I mean, I don't know like what type of programs are on. I guess they're like music ones. I haven't followed anything about them, but like if one of them makes it to the final round or both of them and they start developing like a career in China, then like I can't see them coming back to do like BL here, at least not anytime soon. Yeah. And I'm really curious about like what that would do for their pairing, because even since they've been over there, they haven't really been seen together a lot. One, probably because of like the ideas around BL around there and censorship, and they don't need to promote as a couple the way they do in Thailand. So like I'm curious to see the farther they get in these programs, like what it'll do for them as a pairing in BL and just like their careers here in Thailand in general.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to go where the money is. And if they're making money in China and that means not doing the BL, then I doubt they're going to come back.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, people have been saying that maybe they look like they are not enjoying themselves, but still, like, they wouldn't be there if they didn't want to.
Yeah.
And I think that they're in a much better position in China than they were with Motive Village in Thailand.
They probably would have just been sitting out their contracts like Ben and Pavel at this point. Or pushed it to 2 Moons 3.
Yeah. So they're probably in the best place, but I can't see them coming back and doing BL in Thailand after this, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
unless it's a situation where like they both do not great over there and they come back and are like trying to get back into the on people's radar or something like that. So, but yeah, I'm really curious to see what will happen around the time that all of their contracts are supposed to expire, because I don't even know. I mean, I'm assuming if Moto Village is privating those videos, they're still tied to J9, but like I'm curious to see. I mean, it's pretty much a given that Ben and Pavel are going to leave when their contracts end. So I'm curious to see if J9 will choose to stay with them, if they'll go freelance and stay over China indefinitely, or if we'll even know what's going on. So, yeah.
Yeah, and like there's plenty of people who want to take like Ben into their projects and stuff when he gets out of the contract. So hopefully that'll happen soon. Other than that, they announced a Together special episode.
Yeah.
Do we know what's it's going to be about? I heard some rumors that it was going to be like a wedding or something.
Yeah, so I don't think there's that many details on it. Like, is it only going to be one episode or a couple episodes, like still together? The only tidbit I've seen is that there will be a wedding. My guess, my money's on one of the side couples, like Man Type or Green Dim.
I actually think it's Green Dim.
Yeah, it's so common for a show to be like, ooh, surprise wedding, to like make you think it's the main couple, and then it's just not, and they're just there at the wedding. So like I don't see it being Sarawat and Tyne.
Because like Bright and Win, they have a lot of projects ahead, and they have a lot to do. So I don't think like they'll have time to do like a whole special episode just dedicated to them.
Yeah.
So I think they'll just show up for like one scene or something.
I would love for it to be Man Type. I want to see Tap and Mike get a series together, and like the more content we
Yes.
get of them, the more likely that is to happen. So like I would love for it to be Manti focused.
True. Yeah, and we saw them still together. They moved in together and are really like homey.
Very serious established relationship going on.
So that'll be interesting, but it's definitely not gonna be Bright and Wynn getting married.
I don't see it at all. I mean, I would truly be surprised if it was them that ended up getting married, but I don't think it will be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we have much info on when that's coming out. I'm assuming sometime in the next couple months, though.
And a transition from Together, Piof, who directed Still Together, A Tale of a Thousand Stars, and He's Coming to Me, are some of them. He just recently got engaged with his boyfriend.
Yeah, it was so cute. They've been together 16 years.
That's
so
insane.
Like that's exciting for him.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him.
We love.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm
definitely. So that's great. And that's everything we have for tea time today.
Yeah. Pretty low-key tea time.
And today, for the main topic, we were gonna talk about tropes. The good, the bad, and the evil.
Everything in between as well. Yeah, I thought it would just be interesting because I know I was thinking about like in recent weeks when Pixie, you've been like raving over We Best Love. You're always like, it's tropey, but like it's tropes done well. And like that was one of that was kind of one of our original topics we had thrown out there when we were just like putting together a whole list of things we eventually wanted to talk about. So I felt like, you know, with We Best Love and just kind of bringing stuff like that up a lot lately, it would be a good time to have that discussion. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We'll start on the good end. What's your like favorite tropes?
Ooh.
I would say mine's soulmates, like finding each other.
Yeah.
I love the soulmates. I just love the thought of like someone being so tight and so in love with someone that you're just destined to be together. I think it's just like a fairy tale kind of thing.
It's very romantic.
Yeah. And it's just like, I want that. I'm just gonna watch it and dream.
My soulmate.
Yes. Mew, hello.
Time is ticking, Mew.
Is here.
Coco is here waiting.
What about you, Alexa?
I have two. I like enemies to lovers, but I honestly like friends to lovers better than enemies to lovers. I know that's like an unpopular opinion, but I love the idea of like having been close to someone your whole life and then you start to realize that, oh, like I don't just like them as a friendship way, and just like seeing characters kind of navigate realizing that their feelings for like their best friend are romantic feelings. Like I just love it. And then the other one that I love is fake dating. Turn real dating, usually.
Yes.
I love a good fake dating trope used well. Yeah, those are probably my two favorites.
That's the key word, used well.
Yes, used well.
Yeah, like mine has always been enemies to lovers. I've actually been in one of Kayla's videos where she asked the people to give their favorite trope. Yeah,
that's so cool.
So, and most people were going for the enemies to lovers.
Yeah,
like my reason for it is, for some reason, I have, like, I'm a really passionate person myself. Like, I can get really passionate about stuff to the point that I probably seem a little scary to people. That's why I kind of like seeing that on screen as well. Like passion and aggression and anger are a part of passion. It doesn't really necessarily need to be passion, but it's a part of it, which I like. And I like the transition of anger into like lust or love, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a thin line there.
It's like those
I enjoy
those
that.
scenes when they're like arguing and then like they get like really intense and then like it just turns into like a kiss or something like that. Like those are some
Yeah.
peak like enemies to lovers moments.
Yeah, definitely. In general, I like seeing passion on screen.
Mm.
Like, I like fluff too. I think fluff has its space, but I really,
But you want a bit of fire. You get a bit bored
yeah,
of fluffs like 24/7. A
yeah.
bit of
Like,
spice.
for me, like when I was dating, when I was younger, it's like I enjoyed the relationships I enjoyed the most, or like in dating and stuff, were the relationships where you weren't afraid to say what you mean and you weren't afraid to like just go for it. Like there was passion, and that meant that okay, you might be screaming at each other at one point and just at another point just being all lustful or whatever. It's hard to describe, but it just it gives more, it's like the adrenaline rush, right?
Yeah. It's like brings life to things.
Yeah. If you had a relationship that was constantly like, oh yeah, fluffy, and like you would get bored and you would want something else. Whereas if you already have like a bit of that in the relationship, then I think it just makes it like it's like real life basically.
For me, like if you don't argue with your partner, that means that
that's
they don't
wrong.
care. Yeah, they don't care, right?
There needs to be arguments.
If you're not arguing, you're not caring.
Yeah.
Just comfortable.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed that in shows as well.
I'm speaking from a no relationship experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know BL is full of tropes, so I feel like even like our favorite ones, there's been good examples and there's been bad examples. I definitely feel like lately they've been trying to turn a lot of tropes on their head and kind of do them a bit differently, which is like nice to see. Like Coco mentioned soulmates. I feel like Until We Meet Again, although it was kind of like classic Red String of Fate, it was a new trope to BL at least, so like it made it feel fresh and new.
Yeah.
And I think that's like that was really fun to watch. So
yeah. What are some of like tropes that happen within a show that you kind of seen so many times you get a little tired of it? Like it's supposed to be romantic or whatever, but you're just like, what? One for me, one example, when I see like this happens in every freaking Thai show, when they do the wipe down.
Oh, wiping
they wipe
down their
them
body.
down with a cloth.
Like when someone's sick or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like you can't go out in the rain and die. Like come on.
Like they need to wipe them down every time, and I'm just, why?
And it's like, yeah, it is like really painful to be like, oh my gosh, I'm touching his body, but it's like he's supposed to be sick. Like you should just like, why is this making you like aroused or whatever is happening in the moment?
Why is that supposed to be romantic? But it's kind of okay. I get that in Thailand it's a lot hotter and it's a lot more normal to do wipe downs. Like we don't do that shit in Norway.
If you're 16, your woman can stay away from me.
Like it's too freaking cold in Norway to sit and just use a cloth to wipe people down. Like
yeah,
it would be weird to shower every day here because you would be too cold. But I get that in Thailand that's a normal thing that happens, and maybe it's like a fantasy for the girls there.
I don't know.
To be wiped down by a boy.
Maybe. I don't know.
I want you to wipe me down with this cloth.
I don't want to be like judgmental because it's like it's a culture thing, but I honestly it's so overused, and for us like international fans it's we don't get it.
Yeah. I've never I mean, like to an extent I get like if someone's sick, you put a cloth on their head to help cool them down or break the fever and stuff like that. But like I've never had like growing up when I was sick, like my mom never like wiped down my body or like yeah, she would maybe put a cloth on my head and like dab at my head or something here and there, like when I was really young. But like, yeah, that's just not a thing that happens here where like you, especially not like someone else, I guess, at least not in my personal experience, like sitting beside you, like wiping down your body. I mean, I've seen it in Korean dramas too, so maybe it's just like
it's like
Western
an Asian thing.
Yeah, maybe it just doesn't happen in Western countries, but I don't. I feel the same way. It's always felt kind of like awkward to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're sick here, you just get told to go in your room. Like in my house, it's just like go in your room, lie down, and just stay there and stay away from me.
Don't get anyone else sick.
I can't afford to be ill.
Just stay in your bed, sweating until it's over, and then clean up.
Yeah.
I get it. Is there anything else you guys like have noticed that kind of annoys you? Like typical things that always happens.
I'm so tired of, first of all, like in general, there's a lot of tropes around female characters in BL. Like they're either the crazy Fujoshi who like screams every time the guys even go near each other, or she's like the crazy evil ex-girlfriend. But like the evil ex-girlfriend is my least favorite one in the world, because a lot of the times it's just like unnecessary. Like they'll bring in a random female character or someone who one of the male leads wasn't even attached to before to make her an extra love interest to create conflict. Like that's exactly what happened in Together. Like she was not in the entire series for the most part, and then they brought her in episode 11 and was like, yes, she is suddenly in love with Sarawat and she needs to tell him. Like it's frustrating to me. And sometimes like they are central to the plot. Like I'm thinking of Together With Me, where like the whole thing was centered around the fact that Nock had a girlfriend, and I mean she got a little bit crazy there at some points, but like at that point she's been there since the beginning, and like him having a significant other is a very big part of the story. But there's a lot of the times where they will just like bring in a random female character who's suddenly in love with one of the male characters, or feels like she owns him even though they've never been dating. That kind of thing too, where she's like, oh, you can only belong to me, and if you're not going to date me, then you can't date anyone, type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just want to see, I know boys love isn't about the female characters, but like if you're gonna have
a world
like
without females doesn't exist, right?
Exactly. So, like they're in the show, so why not give them like some decent storyline, or like make them like a little bit more full fleshed out to some extent, bring in some new type of character. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what really annoys me about the Fujoshi is when, correct me if I'm remembering wrong here, but like in 2 Moons 2, you have Sammy. She has no actual plot thing in the story. She's just there. There's no reason for her to be there.
Yeah, she'll follow them around, scream when they see each other. And that's like, especially in 2 Moons 2, that was like her whole role.
Yeah.
I think they gave her a little bit better in Until We Meet Again, because like she wasn't
got
crazy,
a pairing at least.
And she was like actually friends with the two like Parm and team. So like she had a little bit of agency, but like in 2 Moons 2, she was only in scenes to like scream, and like she literally would follow them around places. I was just like, why?
Yeah, because in Until We Meet Again, she was kind of pushing the boys towards their partners. So
like,
she actually had a reason to be there. Yeah.
But she wasn't like I'm just gonna scream over these random guys who I don't even know type Fujoshi character.
Like she's worth like a proper storyline.
Yeah, she's so cute.
I say give her a storyline with you.
Yes.
They've got such good chemistry, even as friends. Like,
just give her a storyline. I really enjoy seeing them. I know she has like a GL project coming up with Wabi Sabi, which I think it might just be like a short series or a 1 episode type thing, but I'm really looking forward to them hopefully giving her some better characters, since she's officially signed with them. I don't know if she was or wasn't before, but now she's like officially one of their talent. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I think for the Girls Love, they are gonna like check the waters and see if it actually can draw people.
So I hope it does well.
Mm-hmm. You know,
I would really love to see some more.
You know, one thing that kind of annoys me is the whole term fujoshi, because it literally means rotten girl.
I have never liked that term, I'm gonna be honest. I know that a lot of people have reclaimed it, but
I mean, is that like a word you want to reclaim? Like rotten girl?
Exactly.
I mean, can't you just find a new one? I mean, but I do think a lot of people actually don't know the meaning of fujoshi. Like, they just think it's like a fangirl, right? But yeah, it basically means a rotten girl who's obsessed with male to male relationships.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And I always hesitate to say that because I know that like it originates from a country and a type of fan culture that I did not grow up in and was not raised in. But yeah, just like knowing the word as its original meaning. I've never been comfortable calling myself a fujoshi, and I don't like to.
Yeah. Are there any other ones that you really, really, really hate?
We kind of talked about one in Discord the other day, and like it's kind of depends because like we were talking about jealousy, right? Pixie.
Yeah.
There are times when it can be used so well, like you said, like when it's kind of bringing passion and like if it's helping one of the characters realize they have romantic feelings for the other because they're getting jealous and they can't figure out why. But like in specific, we were talking about my engineer and Bon and how his jealousy leads him to be so possessive and jump to conclusions.
Really toxic.
And the type of jealousy, where he like wants to forbid Duan from like talking to other guys and that kind of stuff. And like when that kind of jealousy, which is unfortunately I think very common in BLs, like a very overbearing, like possessive to the point of forbidding your partner to do things type partner and one of the male leads, like that's when I really don't enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
So it kind of really depends on how they use the jealousy and like how extreme they go to with it. But yeah, that one can kind of sometimes toe line into being pretty annoying for me.
Because jealousy before you're in a relationship is a tool to get you to realize that you want to be in that relationship. But once you're in a relationship and you use the jealousy as a plot point, that is so wrong on so many levels. Because if you are jealous of your partner, that means you don't trust your partner. And often it's a mirroring of how yourself feel. Like it means that you don't trust yourself because you think you could do something like that. So you can imagine your partner doing something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just a reflection on your own insecurities.
It's just not how to portray a healthy relationship. Like that much jealousy in a relationship is just not healthy.
Exactly. And it's not romantic either. No. Like I don't want to see someone being like so scared and like insecure that their partner is going to cheat on them or leave them that they try to forbid them from seeing other people or being around certain people. Like that's not romance to me. Possession to that extent isn't romantic.
Yeah, especially like when the partner has never really showed any signs that they couldn't be trusted. Like Dune, it's
a lot of the times
he's like naive and stuff, but he's dating Bon. He wouldn't like go after Frank.
Oh, Frank, yeah. And that's why I was like, he's a little oblivious to when people are flirting with him. Yes, but he never like reciprocated any type of flirting. Like he didn't register that people were flirting with him. Like he just thought he was having a regular conversation with someone, and it frustrated me that Bon was always like automatically assuming the worst of him just because he saw other people in some cases they weren't even flirting with him. Like, he was also jealous of Tada at one point, who is his freaking cousin. So, like, it was just like anytime someone who wasn't Bond was talking to him, he was like, assume the worst of Duet. And I was just like, this poor little boy, wholesome little boy, has never even been in a relationship before, essentially. Like, how would he know when someone's flirting with him, how to go about cheating discreetly and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, and if you don't notice people flirting with you, usually you're not interested, right?
Exactly. You're not picking up on those signals because you're not looking for them.
Like, you're just seeing people as people. Like, you should be able to talk to people. Like, I've still got, like, ex-boyfriends that I am friends with, and my current boyfriend is also friends with them after knowing they're my exes, because he trusts me and knows that there's nothing there anymore. Like, there's no chance that, like, I would go back to one of my exes. Like, why the hell should I? Like, we have a relationship where we trust each other. I couldn't imagine him cheating on me. Like, that hasn't even once entered my mind.
It's not even in your head.
No, never. And that's because it never entered in my own mind that I could be able to cheat. Like, I never thought the thought to cheat on him, which is why I also never thought the thought that he could cheat on me.
He would cheat on you.
It's trust. You trust ones you love, right? Yeah, I really hate the jealousy thing. Are there any you feel like they could use more?
That's a good question.
Like, I like forced to live together. They could use that more.
Yes, forced cohabitation.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites too. I'm actually trying to think of like examples of BLs where that has happened. I know there are probably some that I've seen, but I'm like blanking on. I guess Tarn type was technically, I don't know if it was forced, but it was like cohabitation.
Yeah.
Kind of the closest I think they've ever got, though. I mean,
I really don't think we've seen that.
No. We could see more. I think that would be
like when
really
it's
good.
forced cohabitation and like there's only one bed type thing.
Yeah, and they're not engineers. Give them some other occupation, please.
Like, if you think about it, a manner of death is kind of forced cohabitation.
Yeah,
I guess it is, because he stayed at his own home without fear of getting attacked. So and that one also did there's only one bed too, because he didn't have any other furniture in his house.
And like, spoiler alert, in the book they have separate bedrooms. That's something they did for the series. Just saying.
Anyways, who needs a bed? Max
so
can just protect them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Max is the bed.
Max is the bed.
Yes.
I love that so much that like Bond was like pretending or playing so hard that he like didn't trust Tan at all, and then like he was like, oh yeah, I'll share the bed with you.
Yeah.
Tan was ready to like go sleep on the couch or something, and Bond was just like, no, let's just sleep in the bed together. Like,
yeah, like he was in the book. They didn't show this in the series as much, but Bond was really did not trust Tan at all for the longest time. Like, it took almost to the end of the book for them to actually trust each other.
Interesting.
Tan was always like into Bun, like from the start. Like, he was like devoted from the start. But Bun was kind of playing with Tan's feelings and using that to manipulate him so that he could get out of it with his life intact. Like, he was doing it for self-preservation. And afterwards...
Yeah, it's very different from serious Bun.
And afterwards, when everything was, like, done with and he moved away, Bun realized that, like, he had pretended for such a long time that he had actually caught those feelings, and so they kind of portrayed it really differently in the series. But I get it. I get why they did it.
Different.
Yeah. But they couldn't have taken the time to do it like in the book, because
to develop it out.
It wouldn't be realistic. So I get why they did what they did. But yeah. No, I think like Manner of Death doesn't actually have that many like normal tropes in it.
Classic tropes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's what made it so, I mean, I don't want to say revolutionary, but it's definitely very different from anything that we've really seen in BL to date, at least. Like, not in a school setting. They're not engineers of any type.
No women to ruin their worlds.
Yeah, no like evil women. Well,
yeah, but it's not evil in the sense that she's trying to ruin their relationship.
Yeah. No evil ex-girlfriend,
Yes.
let's say it that way. So yeah, they definitely like, and like there's like a little bit of like kind of like aggression and push and pull, but like the good kind, you mentioned, like that makes, I mean, it's just like part of Maxwell's like passion that they have in general. Like any type of scene they have, you're like, this is some sexual tension going on right here. So yeah, I definitely think in general it has not been very tropey at all. And we were kind of talking about in the episode with Louis, a lot of Filipino BLs I feel like are also kind of turning tropes on their head or getting rid of a lot of the tropes that we've seen in a lot of Thai BLs, or using them in a different manner. Like, I keep thinking about, because I just watched it recently, but like Gaya Sa Pelikula, like so different than what I was expecting, and it was so socially aware, which I mentioned in that episode, which kind of just like really shocked me. And I feel like a lot of them are kind of taking a different route, and I guess it's maybe because the industry is different there, and the culture around LGBT people seems like it might be a little bit different there. But like, it's been really cool to see how a lot of the Filipino BLs kind of tackle tropes differently than what we've seen in Thai BL.
Yeah, everyone except My Day. My Day basically took every Thai trope there is and just put it in one script. It's like the laziest thing ever.
So a lot of them. I'm sure there's even more, some of the ones that we haven't even, thought about that are tropey as all hell, but I guess the ones that have gained a lot of traction have gained so for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's because they aren't the typical tropes that we've seen in BL over the last couple years.
Yeah, and like the Korean ones, they are very different as well. Like, I kind of feel like they're making their own tropes.
They're doing a lot of typical Korean drama tropes, but those are very different than BL tropes, so it's cool to see like a lot of typical Korean drama storylines used with a BL relationship.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, because that will make like the Korean public kind of see something familiar.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a normal K-drama, all the normal stuff that you see in a K-drama, except the protagonists are both guys instead of a guy and a girl. That's
really interesting. I wonder if that's like opening up the market even more, because like Korea is known for being like anti-LGBTQ. So
yeah, I mean, I hope so. There's definitely been some K-dramas recently that have definitely been a lot more open about sexuality. So hopefully that is meaning that there is a path that, in combination with us starting to see some BL, like hopefully that means there's a path to more open forms of media there.
Yeah. Hopefully. Are there
anything else on tropes?
Like the shows that are airing right now, can you think of any like tropes that you feel have been used a lot in them?
Well, A Tale of a Thousand Stars, I don't think it's like, because like when I think of tropey, I think of cliche, and I don't think they're using it in a cliche way, but they're kind of doing the stoic guy, the one stoic one, and the one that's more bubbly and lifelike and really bright and energetic, and the stoic guy only smiles around. I mean, not that like Pupa's not like the most stoic male BL lead that I've ever seen before, but like he's known for being strict and stern, but like Tien's the one person who kind of makes him smile and lets his guard down type trope. Like, that one's pretty common, I feel like. But A Tale of a Thousand Stars is very unique in a lot of other ways, so it makes that trope feel kind of unique to the setting of that drama as well.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of unique that they made him gay to begin with, right? Like, it's not just the heart that's doing it. It's not just Tien. He's actually gay to start.
Yeah, and has feelings for Tien as Tien, not just because he has Torfun's heart, which we all worried about.
Yeah, we were talking a lot about that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I think it's a good choice to make.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And especially like in the evolving market right now, because people won't just watch anything anymore. Like, the last year we've gotten...
Standards are raising.
Yeah, we've gotten so much BL the last year that people won't just stand for like whatever they...
Yeah, people want to see something actually good.
Yeah. That's why it's kind of interesting, the new Japanese one. It's adapted from manga.
Oh, yeah, the one that's supposed to like parody.
Yeah, it's like a parody. I read it.
That'll be interesting.
It's a parody. This guy lives in a BL world, and like everyone is like dating other men, and he's kind of going through every day trying to avoid those typical tropes. So that he won't get like a pairing with that guy because he likes girls. And like things like, it's kind of funny because he avoids like bringing, if he's out drinking with his friends, like one of his friends gets really drunk and he keeps avoiding like bringing that friend home because that's a typical like bonding moment.
Set up
yeah. Like the whole manga is filled with tropes, and it's pretty hilarious. It's gonna be interesting to see how they...
Yeah, that sounds like it's gonna be really good. What else is airing? I don't know if anything. I'm looking at like the list of currently airing shows right now, and I realize that I'm not watching a lot of them. So I can't speak to like what tropes they're using and how they're using them. I mean, we talked about We Best Love a lot, and how they've used a lot of the classic tropes really well. At the time we're recording this, we can't really speak to
the new
Fighting Mr. Second yet, but I mean, from the trailer, it looks like it'll have still a lot of classic. From the trailer, it looks like it'll still have a lot of the tropes that we saw in the first season, and I'm really excited to see how they're gonna do them.
Yeah, because it seems like from the first season they went from enemies to lovers, and now they'll like go back to enemies to lovers. I'm here for it. I like those slaps in the trailer.
They were
like, he can slap
aggressive.
me if he wants to.
And he's like throwing Shuyi on the couch. And I was like, what is going on here? Oh my gosh.
I saw TikTok and they were like, look at his face. He's feeling it. I was like, okay.
Yeah. And suits and everything, and I'm just
the businessman aspect. It's gonna be fire.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. Should we go into ongoing and upcoming? We're almost at 50 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So currently airing. So I guess, like we said, we're recording this on the 20th of February, but it's not coming out until March 9th. So I tried to think ahead as much as possible about what will still be airing at that time and what will have started. So hopefully I didn't miss anything, but if I did, cut me some slack, guys. So we still have, Manor of Death just ended. So we'll be ending in a couple of days right now, but we'll have ended by the time this comes out. So that's no longer on our currently airing list, which is sad. But we have discussed doing a review of the series for our patrons. So maybe that's something you guys can look out for. That should be coming or may already be up at the time. So we now have Lovely Writer on Wednesdays on WeTV.
Yes.
I'm really excited for this one.
I can't wait.
I'm hoping that it really lives up to my expectations because I've been waiting for this for so long, and the trailer that just released looked really good, and I'm just like really excited for it. I've been watching all of the Cow Up content, and they're just really fun together. So Fingers crossed that this lives up to all the hype that I have built up in my head about it. That's Wednesdays, and that's going to be on WeTV. I don't know if they've said yet if they're doing the typical WeTV format where VIP users get to see one episode ahead. I'm assuming that they will, probably. But I guess we'll have to wait until the first episode drops to really know. And then we jump to Fridays, which has a lot as usual. So, of course, we still have A Tale of Thousand Stars, which is Fridays on the GMMTV YouTube and usually premieres with subs or has subs right after, so you don't have to wait long. We have Brothers, the series, which is Line TV. I still don't know. Actually, I know one person Ariel has been watching this show, and he seems to say good things about it. Yeah. So
I'm just so skeptical.
He's the only person I've seen that's watching it. I'm still really skeptical about it. Yeah, I'm going to watch it through Ariel, and if he says it's good through the end, then maybe I'll binge it.
Same.
But I haven't seen many other people besides him that I see on my timeline and on my feeds talking about it. So, but that's Fridays on Line TV. We have the Korean web drama You Make Me Dance is currently going. I think it's doing 2 episodes a week on Fridays, and that's Viki, WeTV, I think View as well. WeTV is probably going to be the one that gets the subs up first because we all know Viki is pretty slow with them. Yeah. So if you have access to WeTV, that might be your best bet if you want to watch it day that it airs.
I was thinking, like, for those people who are looking for like an easy way to watch stuff on WeTV and have the money for it, get the VIP. It's totally worth it.
It's so worth it.
And just get a VPN. If you never used a VPN before, it's very easy. And I'll leave a link in the description on the VPN that I personally use. It's super easy to use, and you can use the free version. Of course, the one that costs money works better, but the free one works as well, so it's really no problem.
I think VIP is so worth it.
Yeah, I usually use the servers either in Philippines or Taiwanese or in Thailand. Those usually work for most of the shows.
Yeah, I had to use one a couple of times for Cherry Magic, and I didn't have it as long, like once I got connected, I didn't have any problems watching it. Luckily, a lot of the shows, the WeTV originals, are available within the US, so I don't have to use it for those. But the VIP, I think it's like $5.99 a month, and obviously, like if you don't have the money, no pressure, but it's honestly really worth it. And it seems like WeTV is going to be keeping a big hand in the BL industry. I saw some tweets that they're looking for like suggestions for BL like novels and manga to adapt into series in the coming years for like WeTV originals. So I think they're really trying to like
they're going for
stake a claim in the industry. Yeah.
So it would be more worth it to have a WeTV VIP pass than to have the Viki pass.
Honestly, than like Viki. Yeah, honestly. I agree with that. Yeah, so WeTV is definitely worth it because speaking of WeTV, We Best Love Fighting Mr. Second is airing on WeTV on Fridays as well. That's Taiwanese 6 episodes, and hopefully it's going to be really good as well. We have a Filipino drama, Ben X Gym Forever, is airing on Fridays. It is on a paid service upstream, so I don't know how expensive that is, how accessible it is to people outside of the Philippines, if they're gonna upload it on like YouTube or something for free down the line. I haven't really seen a lot of info about that, but right now it's paid on a service called Upstream. So if you're interested in seeing that, that's where you have to go to get it. Also paid, airing on Saturdays on Gaga Ooh La La, is the My Bromance 2. I still haven't seen too many people watching that one, probably because of the paywall, but it does have Fluke Natouch and Fluke from Sodas, the original season, if you're fans of either of those actors. Sundays, it's not a BL, but I included it because a lot of BL actors are part of it, and I know a lot of people wanted to see it. You Never Eat Alone is now being released for international fans with English subtitles on the Copy A Bangkok YouTube. So I think they uploaded the first episode on YouTube on Valentine's Day. So by the time this goes up, the first couple episodes should be available on YouTube for international fans to watch. And like I said, it's not a BL, but it has a lot of people's favorite BL actors in it. So
Yeah.
I figured it's worthwhile to include in there for anyone who might be interested in seeing that project, because I know a lot of people were interested in watching it and we didn't have access for a long time. So
what people should know about that one, I watched the first episode, and if you didn't like why, then I'm not sure you're gonna like this, because it's got the same chaotic energy as why. And while it's not,
it's good to know,
as aggressive with the hilarities, it's it's still, like there's like a fight going on. Just as an example, there's a fight and suddenly they're holding each other's pants.
Oh.
Yeah. That happens.
Okay.
So it's a little weird, but I liked why. I thought that, like, if you go into the crack like knowing it's cracked, then it's fine. And I thought it was funny, but I do know that it's very, not everyone is gonna like it just because it's very different.
Interesting. That's good to know. I would not have expected it to be like that based on like the clips, not clips, like the stills and stuff that I've seen from it. So good information for people to have. And then finally, we have the Vietnamese drama See Him, which airs on the 15th and 30th of every month. So by the time this goes out, there should be a new episode coming up pretty soon. And that is available on YouTube. And it is being subbed for international fans to watch with English subtitles.
Yeah.
And that is all I have for the currently airing list at the moment.
Yep. Coco, do you have anything?
Yeah, there's not much, like, other than what Alexa mentioned for March. So I'll say for the start of April, there's Call It What You Want, if you want to watch it. I am. And I think the only other one is like a confirmed start date is Fish Upon the Sky.
Yeah,
that's
one
true.
just got its confirmed start.
Yeah, but Call It What You Want is on. Okay, Gaga Ooh La La? Is that how you say it? And a Fish Upon the Sky. I don't know. I think the trailer was on YouTube.
That's GMMTV.
Yeah, it's
GMMTV. So I'm assuming it'll be on.
Yeah. But other than that, nothing.
Oh, there's also History 4.
Yes, History 4.
Yeah, that's right.
I think a lot of people have mixed hesitating feelings about right now. I feel like based on some of the trailers we've seen. Yeah,
but based on what's been released so far, it feels like we're taking like 10 steps back.
Yeah, compared to some of the other history series we've gotten.
Yeah, so I hope we're wrong, and I hope it's like misleading, the stuff we've gotten so far, because I have really high hopes for it. But like, because it's Taiwanese and it is history, like, Trapped was so amazing. So
yeah, they've done some so well. It would be really sad to see it like go very badly. Yeah, but we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Hopefully it doesn't just totally screw up. I'm looking forward to it. Like, I haven't seen any trailers, so I'll probably just not watch any trailers.
Go just blind.
Dive straight in.
Probably a good idea.
Best. Yeah.
When was the movies coming out? The Perth and Bass movie coming out? Wasn't that March?
It might be April or March.
Yeah.
I felt like it was like the 6th of March or something. On Bass's birthday? Was that it?
That's possible.
It's been such a long time since we heard anything, so I can't really remember.
6th of April.
Oh, okay. April. Okay, they pushed it that far back.
So that's still pretty close. Yeah.
Like, are they gonna keep just pushing it and pushing it?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if they're really intent, I think that they want to be able to do a movie theater release.
Oh, yeah.
Is my guess. And because Thailand upped some of their COVID restrictions again, that's why it was originally pushed. because it was only supposed to come out like this month in a couple of days. The original date says February 25th.
Yeah.
And now it's still all the way back in April. So I guess it'll depend on. My assumption is because they want to do a movie theater release. Mm-hmm. I don't know why else they would be pushing it unless, you know, there is something that they needed to refilm or something along those lines. Yeah. But
true.
We'll see. I'm curious to see how that one goes too, because that is a pairing I never expected to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we encourage everyone to kind of check out our Patreon and the rewards there. Like the smallest tier is only €5 and it gives you early access to the podcast, and we'll be making a lot of content to put on there. So
yeah.
And also we have, for all the Patreons, if you join the BL Cafe Discord server, we have like our own little channel just for the patrons where we talk with everyone and share
episodes early
information and share what we're doing. We have like a lot of plans, and we have
exciting things are coming, guys.
Yes, we are talking to people and we will have more guests on, and it's really exciting. So stay tuned. And subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date for everything happening. Sometimes we do release extra episodes, like the Valentine's episode. And like the video so people can find us. Share on your social media if you can. It really helps us to grow.
Follow us on our social medias as well, which are always down in the descriptions. The podcast is on Instagram, Twitter. And our personal Twitters are in there too if you wanted to follow any of us as well.
Yeah. And you can also find the podcast on Spotify. So if like you can't watch it on YouTube, then it's easy to just get it on Spotify. And if you're a Patreon and you get the episodes early, you can choose which app you listen to the episode from through the Patreon, right? So if you want to listen to it through Apple Music or anything else, then you can. You choose yourself. Yeah. That was it.
It's a really cool feature.
Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.